Tonight, the Royal St. Lucia Police Force gives the latest on the shooting death of a Vieux-Fort man.
At approximately 6:20 p.m. on Saturday, 5th October, personnel from the Vieux-Fort Fire Station responded to a call of an alleged shooting incident in the Vieux-Fort town.
An Anglican priest addresses the public on their reaction during and following tragedies, and the Millet Minibus Association's strike continues. All this and more coming up in tonight's broadcast.
This is the Hot 7 Nightly News with Lovelace and Amy Joseph.
Good evening. It is Tuesday, the 8th of October 2019. Welcome to the Hot 7 TV Nightly News. We're on Flow, Channel 117, also being simulcast on Kiss FM 105.5 and 105.9 radio. You can also watch us on our free mobile app. Just search for Caribbean Hot FM in the Play Store. I'm Rochelle Gonzalez, standing in for lovely Saint Amy Joseph. Coming off a long and busy weekend for the Royal St. Lucia Police Force, Assistant Commissioner of Police with responsibility for territorial policing, George Nicholas, updates members of the local media about an operation which will surely go down in the books as being one of the most successful tasks undertaken by officers. ACP Nicholas was especially thankful for the help received from the general public. A group of individuals are in police custody after Special Service Unit officers of the Royal St. Lucia Police Force conducted a successful operation over the weekend, making several arrests as well as making a major haul of drugs, vehicles and ammunition. Assistant Commissioner of Police with responsibility for territorial policing, George Nicholas, confirmed that the series of operations which were conducted simultaneously occurred on Sunday, the 6th of October 2019. The operation spanned from Canneries in the west, Dannery in the east and through to Grosley in the north.
Over 71 officers were involved in those operations, and as a result, over 400 vehicles were checked during that operation. 18 vehicles were impounded, 58 tickets were issued, and 7 persons were arrested for various offences. In Denver in particular, a green Suzuki motorcar was stopped and a search was conducted on that vehicle where a Glock pistol, 40 caliber pistol with 8 rounds of ammunition was recovered, as well as a 12-gauge shotgun with 2 rounds of ammunition were recovered. A quantity of drugs were also recovered from that vehicle that we suspect to be cannabis. And as a result, a 21-year-old Colin Calendar of Mac Bexon, 43-year-old Elvis Dupre of Bexon, 23-year-old Martel Hamilton of Richmond Dennery, 23-year-old Neville Eugene of Mac Bexon were arrested and subsequently charged for possession of firearm without a valid license, and also for controlled drugs, and also for possession of ammunition. 45-year-old Vernon Dupre of Bexon was also charged with the same offences, as well as unlawful possession of ammunition. All of them are currently in police custody.
ACP Nicholas said the works of the police did not end with the operations.
Earlier that same Sunday morning, 2 off-duty police officers intervened in an altercation between 2 male individuals, one of whom fled the scene. The 2 police officers gave chase, and as a result, Kim Justin of Radri Grosley was arrested with a Smith & Wesson 40 caliber semi-automatic pistol with 4 rounds of ammunition. He was subsequently charged for possession of unlawful firearm and ammunition. He was taken before the first district court where bail was set in the sum of $5,000 cash or suitable surety on each count. He is currently awaiting trial for those matters.
The ACP expressed his gratitude to all those who helped in making the efforts a success.
We want to thank the members of the public for showing tolerance and understanding and patience during the conduct of those operations, and we're asking them to continue to support the police when we are having those operations. It is something that is going to continue throughout the length and breadth of St. Lucia.
ACP Nicholas said the operation required some logistical planning. However, he said with the different heads of the different departments coming together, they were able to put their plan into motion. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I'm Rochelle Gonzalez. The weekend of Friday the 4th to Tuesday the 8th saw the St. Lucia Fire Service reporting to a number of motor vehicular-related emergencies. However, the standout response was in the community of Vieux-Fort, where emergency personnel responded to a man who was shot and eventually succumbed to his wounds. More in this report.
A total of 99 emergency calls were responded to over the weekend of Friday 4th to Tuesday 8th October, says leading firefighter 542 Stacy Joseph.
The fire service made a total of 99 ambulance responses for the weekend October 4th to 8th, 2019. There were no fire calls recorded for the period. However, emergency personnel responded to 10 motor vehicular incidents.
Joseph goes on to reveal the most pressing matter attended to by the St. Lucia Fire Service over the long weekend. An incident in the community of Vieux-Fort. Joseph describes the emergency response given to an individual who was the victim of an apparent shooting.
At approximately 6:20 p.m. on Saturday 5th October, personnel from the Vieux-Fort Fire Station responded to a call of an alleged shooting incident in the Vieux-Fort town. The arriving emergency unit discovered one male individual lying on the road, breathing and with a pulse. However, he was unresponsive. Further examination revealed that the patient had a puncture wound to the left side of his chest. He was immediately transferred to the ambulance. En route to the St. Jude Hospital, the patient became breathless and pulseless. CPR was immediately initiated. Subsequently, a medical practitioner at the St. Jude Hospital pronounced the individual dead.
The incident is said to have taken place near the vicinity of the SNS Plaza in Vieux-Fort, and the victim has been identified as 50-year-old Lawrence Marcelet, also known as Shortman. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I am Solange Alfred.
In St. Lucia's most recent viral video, homicide victim Lawrence Marcelet is shown rolling over and bleeding as persons stand by and take photos. Relatives and onlookers argue that someone could have assisted him before the ambulance arrived. Archdeacon Christian Glasgow underscores that this is not Christian behavior. He says persons must realize the importance of the practical aspect of Christian teachings.
St. Lucia's latest homicide has been dubbed the victim of a senseless killing. Lawrence Marcelet, also known as Shortman, was shot in Vieux-Fort town around 6 p.m. Saturday, October 5th, 2019. The incident is alleged to have been a robbery gone wrong. Even more chilling is the emergence of St. Lucia's latest viral video, which shows Marcelet rolling over and bleeding as persons observe, phones in hand, attempting to document the situation instead of offering assistance. Archdeacon Christian Glasgow says it is evident that persons will speak the words of the Bible, but not practice its teachings that they claim to follow.
The experience in Vieux-Fort recently of a youngster struggling for his life. And all that we can do is walk around, make comments, take photographs, and none of us present there could take the time out and to lend some sort of assistance to that youngster struggling for their life. I could only say it is so because we really and truly are only talking about being Christians and we are not willing to live the Christian way. St. Lucia, let us get back to the basics.
Glasgow appeals to Christians on island to understand the severity of this practice and urges the practical application of the Bible's teachings.
I believe that if we as a people begin to take these things seriously and move beyond just simply talk, but live the Christian reality, a number of the things we experience in the society will not happen.
Glasgow appeals to Christians on island to understand the severity of this practice and urges the practical application of the Bible's teachings. He says as members of the church, persons must understand that they should be their brother's keepers, especially in life or death situations. Christianity, Glasgow said, is not limited to the repetition of poems or the understanding of teachings if they will not be put into action when the opportunity prevails. For Hot 7 News, I am Jacques Wooding.
strike action continues with the Millet Minibus Association withholding service to residents traveling to the communities of Venus Estate and Bel Air. The strike action was first reported on the 10th of September 2019, and almost a month into the protest action against the deplorable road conditions, President of the Millet Minibus Association, Cyprian Yard, says little is being done. Adding insult to injury, Yard says a number of roads have been identified by the Ministry of Infrastructure. However, Venus Estate and Bel Air are seemingly out of the discussions.
A U.S. $42 million loan from the government of the Republic of China Taiwan is being used by the current administration to fix roads throughout St. Lucia. However, President of the Millet Minibus Association, Cyprian Yard, says no mention has been made of the Venus Estate and Bel Air roads in the list of roads identified for improvement. Back in September 2019, the Millet Minibus Association resorted to drastic measures in an attempt to force the hand of the current administration to provide relief and fix the road network of Venus Estate and Bel Air. Yard says he cannot comprehend the thought process behind the non-inclusion of Venus and Bel Air as part of the $42 million road rehabilitation project.
It's not a feeling, but it's just a thought process to indicate, hey, is it an afterthought, or whether it was not, and it is still not, into the government's plans to provide repairs for these roads. Parliamentary representatives traditionally would mention things, but when it comes to the actual implementation plan, these things are virtually absent. I wonder sometimes myself, who's speaking the truth, who's being honest? It's time that we begin to have parliamentarians who are honest with the people. If it is not going to be repaired, it's not going to be repaired. If it is going to be repaired, you tell us how and when it's going to be repaired. But when you hear a list of roads and Bel Air and Venus Estate Road are not mentioned in those roads which are down for repair, I leave the judgment to the people of St. Lucia to decide.
Under the Road Improvement and Maintenance Project, one of the roads outlined for the project is the Tetchimere to Verner Road. No indication was made as to whether Venus or Bel Air would be part of that rehabilitation effort. Meanwhile, Yard says the strike action by the drivers of the Millet Minibus Association will remain until the association deems the two aforementioned roads satisfactory.
Until we are satisfied that the remedial works that have been done in those areas are appropriate for us to traverse, then we will remain out.
Meanwhile, Yard adds, very little has been done from the start of the strike action. He says some level of remedial work has been noticed on one of the road networks.
What I can say to you is there's been some temporary remedial works being done in Venus. I cannot say the same for Bel Air. But of course, realizing that in Venus Road they have started this temporary remedial works from the top. I wouldn't say the top, but somewhere in the middle, and coming down to the intersection. So therefore, the intersection is still bad and impassable to us. So therefore, not until they are complete and we are satisfied that it is okay for us to traverse this road that we will return to normalizing our services to that area.
The Millet Minibus Association stands behind their decision of withdrawing service to Venus Estate and Bel Air and continues to voice their concerns for passengers' safety as well as longevity of their vehicles. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I am Solange Alfred.
You're watching the Hot 7 Nightly News. When we come back, the Graham Louise building is closed temporarily, the FRC hosts a Kudma, and students are soon to be housed at the St. Lucia Sports Academy.